As Mr. Pohl said, my name is Abby Morris. I went to St. Gerard Middle School, and I am now a senior here. Today, I'm going to speak a bit on how Lansing Catholic has been a home to me the past 4 years. Before I elaborate any further, I would like to first explain what that word truly means to me. What initially comes to mind when I think of home is a place where I can be myself, a safe space, some sort of refuge I can escape to when I am brought down by the weight of the world, and, in a figurative sense, a community of people who accepts me as I am, despite every broken piece of me that has tried to define me as weak and incapable. It is, to me, the family that loves the real, authentic version of myself, even when that person is made up of a million jagged fragments that have all abruptly shattered at once, taking the shell of someone old and leaving her with a new reality that makes her both confused and utterly vulnerable and raw. Based on that definition, Lansing Catholic has always been, and especially now is, my home. This reality was made visible to me last school year and helped me to see the light beyond the dimness of the darkest part of my life. Exactly 5 months ago today, my role model and life mentor, as well as my greatest supporter and the best of friends, who also happens to be my dad, left this earth and entered into eternal happiness with the Lord in paradise. Losing him is the most painful thing I have ever experienced, and in that hospital room that day, as I watched his body fail, my world shattered into a million pieces. I came to school in the morning as usual, and left only a few hours later to bear the worst reality I've ever faced, the passing of a parent who loved me so authentically and shaped me into the person I am today. After that day, I knew that I had fallen on my face from the burden of my pain, and I didn't think I was strong enough to ever get back up. The week that followed was a blur of funeral planning and the logistics of being without him for the rest of my life. All I wanted was for him to come back to me, but I knew that he couldn't. He was gone. He was gone, and that truth broke me. After a couple more days passed by, and mostly out of necessity, I decided that I needed to get back to school. I didn't know if I was going to be able to handle it, and I was terrified of other people's reactions, but I had to do it eventually. So, the following Monday, I found myself walking towards the main doors, scared out of my mind of what my life would look like going forward, and desperately wishing that I would be able to get through this nightmare. However, as soon as I stepped inside, I was surrounded by an immediate sense of support and direction from both my teachers and classmates. From that moment on, they held me when I cried, comforted me when I grew anxious or worried, and loved me through and despite my brokenness. What left me in awe was how gentle and caring everyone was with me, and how I was embraced, even as I lay in all my pieces, until I began to be made whole again. And even today, this practice continues still. Here, I saw, was the beauty of a community that accepted me despite my scars. Here were the people who showed me the goodness in deep suffering. Here, I realized, was a place that I could call home. If there is anything I want you all to know, it's this. Lansing Catholic isn't simply a high school. Even more than that, it's a place where you can bring your authentic self, be it broken or not. It's a place where you can be rubbed raw from your vulnerability and still be loved wholly without any fear of being cast aside or rejected. It's a place where you can stand confidently, though your heart may be aching and the fracture feels too permanent to ever fade. And you can know deep within yourself that you will never be disregarded or shamed because of those wounds. You are loved here, and you are seen, noticed, and heard. I pray that you may all recognize someday that these statements hold truth, and that, maybe, you will see this place as your home too.